This is probably one of my most proudest lyrics of all the songs we've written together. Hi, Andy here from GASM. Today we're going to be talking about the lyrics behind the song You Better Go, which was released on April 27th of this year. Lyric to the actual song will be right down there in the description, job description, but the video description and whatever else you want to call it and stuff. But the concept behind You Better Go is basically a true story. Contrary to what the lyrics say, you woke me up at the crack of midnight. I was woken up at the crack of dawn one day last year, and I heard an argument from an apartment just down the hall from me. And although I couldn't really understand what was being said, the voices were just echoing through the hallway. And this was 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and people are yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs and just basically making complete fools of themselves. And some reason there was a seed of an idea that was planted in my brain as I was listening to the sheer volume of these two imbeciles in the apartment. And then I rolled over and fell back asleep again. But for some reason, the idea of writing a song about an argument implanted in my brain. So, cut to a few days later, I'm in the grocery store here in Carlton Place, and I'm wandering around the store, and I have my cart with me, and I have maybe a list of 5 items together, whatever. And I hear a song on the PA system. Now, as we all know, grocery stores have the PAs turned down really low when it's music playing. But I was able to pick out some notes from whatever song was playing, and from the notes I was able to gather, I came up with this melody that I pieced together from the notes that I was hearing on the PA. And I started humming a tune and got my groceries or whatever, and I went to the cash register still humming this tune. And by the time I got to the cash register, I had the bridge to the song and what ended up being the chorus. So as I'm paying for my groceries, I'm going, and the cashier is going, that'll be $29.95 or whatever it is. And by the time I got home, I had pieced those two fragments together. And so I put down my groceries over here on the counter of my kitchen, and I got my recording equipment, the microphone over there, and plugged it into my computer, and I put down the ideas I had. And the file itself was about 5 minutes long, just me rambling through these 2 ideas I had. And then I said, well, I can't make a full song out of these 2 fragments. So I went back into Jerry's tapes, and I found 2 riffs that kind of fit what I was going for with these 2 fragments. So I ended up piecing them together, and I sent them to Kirk, and he did it. Kirk Armstrong, who does the engineering and plays on all our songs, he put together the backing track, guitars and bass and keyboards. I did the drums later, and he sent it back to me, and I started forming a lyric based on this backing track I had, and the argument that I heard earlier started to really come back, and I wrote this song around that, and I basically used the chorus as a warning, because as the song progressed and as I remembered, The girl who was arguing with the boy in the apartment 3 doors down from me, like that, 3 doors down, uh, she kicked him out. And anytime I would go out of my apartment during the day or the night, there'd be another person who wasn't her boyfriend, husband, whatever, uh, coming into her doorway. So I took those two ideas and I merged them into the song. And in the song, I'm basically calling her a whore, and which probably she is. And for all I know, she doesn't live here anymore, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I took the argument and I took this and I basically said it's a warning. How do I do this? And the lyrics came out as I listened to the backing track, and yeah, it's basically a warning song to a person who's in a relationship. Oh, and they had a son. The two people in the apartment had a son, and from what I know or what I've heard, the son sleeps in the same bedroom as they do because it's a one-bedroom apartment. So I went, okay, so she's having these men, but her son, who's barely 1 year old at the time, is sleeping in the same room as she's having her fun. What kind of relationship is this? And that's why I said you better go, because the apartment building is talking, rumors will swirl, and yeah. In the original lyrics, uh, I wanted to say something like you're putting your needy son in danger, putting your dumb son in danger. You know, a lot of adjectives or child or whatever I used in the lyric. And I just said, no, it's getting a little too bit of a mouthful because I'd be singing it. So I just took all the extra adjectives and descriptions out of the lyric and just sang it the way it is in the actual song. So You Better Girl was released in April of this year, and lyrics, the song, not the lyrics, will be in the description down below. Thanks.